Hi everyone, and welcome to the Velvet Lounge. Welcome back. Thank you guys so much for watching our videos and sharing them. We really appreciate it. And today what I wanted to talk about was a piece of history. And this piece of history has to deal with a point in time that is uncomfortable to most people, understandably. And that time period, as many of you can guess, with me being a person of color, is slavery. Within slavery, there were a billion aspects, obviously. This is a tiny little speck of that, and it has to do with the importance of spices. When you're given the worst cuts of meat, which now, in the year 2017, in some cases are premium cuts of meat seeking premium prices, even though they really are the leftovers from, different meat products such as trotters and hog mogs, chitlins, turkey necks, chicken necks, gizzards, the fat back of hogs, pigtails, pig ears, you name it. There's a whole contingency of foods there that, personally we really don't consume, but millions of people do. And they're actually, seeking and getting premium prices in your grocery store. So how did they make these taste good back in the time of the slavery? Enslaved people, they were some of the most innovative people, feel that there were so many that were absolute geniuses, because they had to survive through astronomical odds. Everyone, even in some cases, people of their own color were against them. And so one of the awesome ideas and one of the great inventions is kitchen pepper. Kitchen pepper is made of a variety of spices as well as root things, and so I will go over that. Even some citruses in there. So you pretty much looked around your area and you were like, what do I have? Whereas I can make something that would make almost anything taste good that is a savory dish. So you would use this in vegetables. You would use this in minced pies. You would use this obviously for meat meals, soups. So there was just a large variety of things that this would be used for. So as you can see, I have my spices out, and what you would have in this, and there are variations of this. This is one of the oldest variations known. And I will tell you, the cayenne pepper comes in, I believe, around 1870. So this recipe, minus a cayenne pepper, predates the year 1870. And how do I know this? I did research. And so looking at what I have here, I have cinnamon, I have my cayenne pepper, I'm using white pepper because I would use white pepper, as well as coarsely ground black pepper, which I pre-ground, so you wouldn't have to listen to me grind that forever. Also, there's Valencia orange peel. Believe it or not, there is ginger in this. So I have my Simply Organic ginger. And cloves. Cloves were in a lot of different food preparations. And, many times we see them, the cloves stuck in ham. However, obviously, it had more use than just using it in ham. And the reason I have my roller out as well as a soup ladle is if you do not have a mortar and pedestal, these are optional things that you could use to help grind up your spices to get more of the oils and the flavors out. So, as I stated, I already have some coarsely ground pepper in my bowl, and to that I am going to add some ginger. I'm going to pretty good amount of it. Ginger, yes, has a little bit of heat. I love ginger. It's like an underused spice. And then the next is, this is dried Valencia orange peel. You don't want to overdo the orange peel. You're not trying to make like, you know, a citrusy preparation. And then my white pepper. And I don't know why they use black pepper and white pepper, but that's what was in the recipe. And then there's some cayenne, which really gives it its color. And most surprising to me was the cinnamon. And cinnamon actually comes from the bark of a tree. A lot of people don't know that. And then we have our clove. So what I want, and I'm here operating the camera by myself today, so the quality of this video will not be as good as when my daughter does it, but I'm going one-handed here, so it's going to be a challenge, but I am going to, and this is actually a grinder that I have, and all I did is I kept it, an extra pepper mill grinder I had, and I use this to grind my cloves in. See if I could twist that on with one hand. Ew, I could call this a one-handed kitchen pepper video. And let's see if I can get a decent view of this. Because what I want to do is simply, like I stated, you know, grind some of this clove up. And what I do is I keep the top on and I grind, because it actually has a little receptacle so that it can hold what you grind in it. And I won't like do this for 5 minutes because that might run a little bit long. And I have, and clove is very, very strong in flavor. So what you see here, that's probably not even a quarter of a tablespoon. That's just really a few pinches. And then what I do is you could lay this between 2 pieces of plastic wrap and roll it with your rolling pin, or just take the back of a soup ladle and sort of smash everything together a little bit. And you're not, you know, you want this to be like a coarse pepper. And of course you have some of the fine spices in there already. So it's, you know, you're not really looking for any big textures in this, because remember, this is a staple. So just like we have salt and pepper in our kitchens today, I'm sorry about my finger there, but they would have had kitchen pepper. So this, you know, our black pepper would not have been a kitchen staple, but this kitchen pepper would have been a kitchen staple. And this would, even though they probably didn't know it, this was used in the food for the whites as well as for the people of color. So, you know, even if you had a cook that wasn't a very good cook, this would make the food taste really, really good. The only thing I probably would do to this is add a little more black pepper to it, but that was our little spot in history today, discussing kitchen condiments and kitchen pepper. Thank you guys so much for supporting our channel. We couldn't do it without you. We will continue to bring you more interesting content. And congratulations to our daughter, who has a job working at the oldest law firm in Connecticut. Samuel Clemens was a client there. That's how far back that goes back. And Samuel Clemens, his name was Mark Twain when he wrote. So pretty interesting to have this young girl of color, you know, breaking down barriers and in her own right making history. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. And oh, I'm going to come back in a few minutes, and it's going to be very short, just to give you an update on our experiment with our new growing system. Take care. Tune in.